Today's question is, why can't you get a job as an interior designer, or how do you get a job as an interior designer? Well, the biggest thing I'm constantly going on about, and I think this is probably the most obvious thing, is skills, portfolio, experience. These are the things that most people are looking for when they are looking for somebody to hire as an interior designer. But the main reasons that, if you've specifically been looking for jobs as an interior designer, well, let's look at experience. Well, theory versus reality. No matter what your training is, whether you have a degree or not, most of the people who do start to take a course in interior design only have theory-based knowledge, and that knowledge it's not practically useful. There is a lot of general knowledge provided by the internet, by courses, by a lot of even like professional formal education, but it's theoretical, and that theory is very difficult to put into practice unless you have a job or unless you've had experience, which kind of takes me on to the big problem, which is the chicken and the egg, where you can't get a job unless you've had experience, and you can't get experience unless you've had a job. And that can be really frustrating if you're looking for work as an interior designer. So how do you overcome this? Well, there are lots of different ways to get experience, but obviously the best experience is in practice. So working under somebody, working with somebody, working on a project yourself. And that is the easiest way to get experience as an interior designer. So the biggest thing to try, and I mean, I was one of those people. I went and found jobs. I went and got clients when I needed to get experience. And that was the way, and that was the reason why I got jobs above everyone else when I was looking for jobs straight out of school. I was hired instantly because I had experience, and I had better experience than most people had at my age, which was just unheard of at the time. So experience is everything, because even without experience, your education without experience kind of is useless. But your experience is always better than everything. And I think it kind of gives you everything that you need in order to get jobs and to actually, get hired as an interior designer. And, obviously once you start working, then the theory starts to make sense. But the other way around, it kind of is a bit weird that we do it this way, and that it's still common knowledge to go and get a design degree or diploma, and then you would go and get experience. It just seems a little bit backwards to me, because I always teach and I always suggest go get experience first and try and get a client. It's easier to get a client than it is a job, or try and get your own project. I've got a blog post about interior design portfolios, which I'll go on to next. But in that, and I've also got a blog post called how to get a client without a portfolio, which you look into that, because I've given you 50 ideas on how to get that first job, or how to get that first client, or first kind of few projects for your portfolio. So let's go on to the portfolio now, which is what people are looking for. Is they want to see they want to see that you have the actual skills that they need to as an interior designer. So the thing is most interior designers do work solo. So a lot of us do have very small businesses. We hire one or two people, and the majority of people working in the industry are quite small practice. The key thing there is that they're going to be looking for somebody that they can hit the ground running, not somebody that they have to train, because training somebody costs a lot of money. And once you've trained them, they're going to go somewhere else. So the reality is, we just as employers are really, really looking for somebody who can come straight in and actually become profitable straight away. And that is really, really difficult for us to find. So now seeing it from an employer's point of view, and seeing it, looking for somebody, I can tell you're eager, but that eagerness doesn't always translate into actual profitable work for me. And so when you start looking at the kind of portfolio that you're putting forward, think about, and this is why experience is really key, because think about the actual job role of an interior designer, and that's not what you've been taught in your diploma, because the theory and the practice are very different things. So actually undertaking a project from start to finish, even if it's a really small one, is the most invaluable experience that you can have. And even if you do that for yourself, understanding the process is something else which you obviously have to learn. And funnily enough, the process isn't taught in interior design school or diplomas, like not in the way that is actually practical for use. But obviously that's stuff I teach. So if you are interested in mentorship, have a look at the options on our website. Next, skills. Employers are looking for specific skills, and if you have either outdated skills or you don't have any software skills, that's going to be really one of the easiest things that I can outsource as an interior designer is the software. So if I have somebody that I can easily go, can you just draw this up for me? Can you just kind of rearrange this layout for me? Can you just update this section for me? That is really useful, because if I have to sit down, usually for me it's in the evenings once the baby's gone to bed, and I have to draw that stuff up. If I can quickly outsource that during the day, that is a really useful skill that I would pay for. So, and that I do pay for. So when you think of this kind of skills that you have, software, learning SketchUp, learning AutoCAD, these are the types of things that you want to learn, because you want industry standard skills that you're going to be very useful in any interior design firm, not just one that is a hand drawing, because as beautiful as hand drawing is, and we're all attracted to it, in reality, if you're looking for a job, most of us are using CAD, some sort of CAD. I use SketchUp and AutoCAD in my business. So, and so do most interior designers that are working professionally, or obviously I do interior architecture, so we do both and have bigger, broader types of projects. So anyone who is usually doing a traditional full service luxury or high-end project will be using that kind of software. And that is why you want to get that kind of experience, that kind of skill set that is going to get you these kinds of jobs. Obviously, I do also teach AutoCAD and SketchUp. So if you're interested in learning that, just contact us or have a look at our mentorship options. What's next? One of the key things that I think nobody talks about is industry presence. And I think I'll finish with this, because this is something that I suppose no one wants to say, but I'm going to say it. You need to, cold applying to somewhere is a very, very, it's very unlikely that you're going to get a job. Most people get a job through word of mouth. So how do you become one of those people? You get yourself into the room, networking with other interior designers. You get yourself into industry bodies. I'm a big fan of the BID, British Institute of Interior Design. They are wonderful. I'm also a member of IIDA. Both of those have networking events that you can have, learn to meet with other people. And really, I think it's kind of interesting, because most people don't realize how important it is not to separate yourself, no matter what your background is, no matter how you've become an interior designer or how you want to become an interior designer. You've got to be part of the industry. The key thing, and I think this is probably because I am university educated, one of the key things I learned at university was that I needed to be part of the industry, not just me as a solo interior designer. I needed to be part of everyone else who is also being an interior designer. And that knowledge, I think, was probably one of the best things that I took away from my interior design degree. So industry presence. You stay up to date, CPD, continued professional development, word of mouth for job referrals. One of the jobs, the people that I've hired and the people that I go on to propose to be hired to other people are all word of mouth. Excuse me. So don't isolate yourself is the key thing that I'm trying to say here. If you want a job, get in the industry, learn to show up at those events, even if you're terrified, which we all are. Like, nobody likes to network, but as soon as you start seeing familiar faces, it just becomes, I mean, you can't ignore the industry. And I think that is key. So make one friend. And that is obviously something I'm a huge proponent of is support community. Get yourself in a community. That's what we do. So get in touch and have a look at our mentorship options. I'll leave it at that, and keep the questions coming because they're really fantastic. So I'll see you soon. Bye.